Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for joining me once again. You are always most welcome. So today we're going to talk about figures. Yes, don't run behind the sofa and cover your eyes, or use the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy glasses that instantly go dark at the first sign of trouble. Come out from your hiding places and let's talk about figures. Now look at some figures. So I'm going to talk actually today about the Tamiya military miniatures sets. So we've got their latest offerings. They've got three. I think the one in my hand actually is from last year. I think it's 2022. Oh, 2019. Okay, 2019. But the other two are this year's release. But I've talked briefly about figures before. I'm not a great figure maker or painter, but I'm getting better at it, and it's one of those things that you just there's no shortcut with figures. You just have to practice on them, I think. So I thought we'd have a look at these very interesting ones. We'll start with this one because it's the oldest, and then we'll look at the two new ones. I've also got a couple of figures here to show you that I prepared earlier, as they say, much earlier. Now these are from and I'm trying to remember, I think this is from the Dragon. I can't remember it now, if it's the Dragon, they're all 1/35th. It's either the Dragon Normandy Panzer Racers or the Dragon Ardennes Battle of the Bulge Infantry. Can't quite remember which one it was, but very, very nice figures, I've got to say. You can see it's got the Ardennes type late war camo, and you can see that when I was just explaining about the this is the mid-World War II, the sort of thing the German Wehrmacht would have been wearing in Russia, in the Soviet Union during the Soviet Operation Barbarossa, sort of 42, 43, 44. And then on the other set, the newer set we'll look at later, you can see they've got this sort of like an Ardennes style sort of late war camo with some later war weapons, including the STG-44. So anyway, back to this chap. So he's got an STG-44 on his back, as you can probably tell. And yeah, I really enjoyed doing these actually. And I say I'm not the best figure painter in terms of the tones and the shadows and all that sort of thing. I'm still sort of learning, like a lot of us. There's that one. There's also the one I call Clint Eastwood, because the demeanour of this figure reminds me a lot of Clint Eastwood in Where Eagles Dare. Something about the way he sort of stands and the way he sort of holds himself. And he's got an MP40 Schmeiser slung over his shoulder. And yeah, it just reminds me of Clint in that film somehow. And again, the late war sort of Ardennes style camo here. So yeah, well, I'm not trying to make mine out to be some sort of example for you to follow, because I'm sure that probably quite a few of you that are watching this may be much better at figures than I. I think the biggest challenge of figures is always the eyes, isn't it? It's the thing that puts most people off them, to be honest. And I did allude to this a couple of 2 or 3 videos ago, where a gentleman popped up when I was doing my videos called "What's Your Favourite Model and Why?" And he popped up and he said, the secret to figure painting is not to try and do perfect eyes. He said what you do is you obviously do your skin for the face, then you do the eye itself white, the whole of the eye, then you will carefully put a blob in of colour, blue or green or brown, and then finally, to get the eyeball, you don't do what I was trying to do, which I can appreciate isn't the best way, which is to try and get a perfect eye. You're never going to get a perfect eyeball. So what you actually do is you do a very fine vertical stripe for the pupil, at the centre of the pupil. You do this vertical stripe, and I think I've seen it done by a few people now. I've been watching a few of these YouTube videos. It's very good. It's a very good system, that. I think if you're at smaller than 35th scale, you don't need to worry about it too much, to be honest. But 35th and bigger, I think 24, 16th and so on, yeah, you're going to kind of have to have a go at it. But worst case scenario, I've got these British infantry, I haven't brought them out this time, but I've got the British infantry patrol team, which is in that video I mentioned. And on a couple of those, I just didn't do any eyes. They actually have, they're sort of looking a little bit squinty anyway. So I just didn't bother with the eyeballs, and they look fine. They look fine. because when you look at them in the cabinet at normal distances, 1 to 2 feet away, you can't really tell. You can't tell. So don't be put off. Anyway, we're going to have a look at these lovely, lovely figures from Tamiya. Tamiya just become one of the best now. I think they're up there. Them and ICM and Dragon are probably the best people to get your injection molded figures from. Of course, you can get resin figures, which are much more expensive, and some beautiful ones around. But let's have a look at these. We'll start with a 2019 offering. We'll see if you might see a slight improvement in quality as well. That'll be interesting. So, without further ado, this is kit number 35371, and it's the German infantry set, mid-World War II. 5 figures, mid-World War II uniforms, realistic poses, and numerous accessories, including weaponry. And on the side, I should show you this because it's one of the joys of the Tamiya figures, actually. They give you all this detail about their rank insignia, which is quite important. You're going to have to paint these on, because I don't think we get any decals. So you need to paint them on. So you've got all the collar badges and the shoulder lapel badges and things. You've got 1 or 2 extras like the canteen, hand grenade case, and then on the other side we've got the good old MG34 machine gun, the MP40, also known as the Schmeiser machine pistol, a Mauser KAR 98K carbine rifle, ammunition pouch, binoculars, and a Luger holster. So that's all included in the kit, okay? So, let us have a little look at what this offering from Tamiya is. And you know what? I am delighted to tell you first and foremost that I was wrong. We do get some decals after all, and I'm going to just zoom you out. So this is a surprise because it's not the usual thing. You often don't get them. You just have to paint on your own insignias and rank. Different here though. Okay. Oh, these are wonderful. Oh my god, yes. Just what's been missing on these figures, I think. Look at this. All the little rank badges, and you've got your collar badges, you've got your shoulder badges, sleeve insignia, and the Wehrmacht national symbol, national emblem with the eagle on it, and then you've got some these things that are going on the medical pouch. I think it is, yeah, there's first aid kit, ammunition case, etc. Aren't they nice though? Aren't they nice? Can we get a bit closer? Just let's see if we can give you a bit more detail. Yeah, pretty good, aren't they? Now that is going to save a lot of aggro, because it's the one thing that has always irked me with these figures. Whenever I come to do them, I've got to start, trying to figure out from the artwork how to paint them on, and it's very fiddly and very fine work. It's probably the trickiest thing apart from the eyes that are on the actual figures. So to have those included, that is a major boon. Instructions, these should be fairly straightforward. But remember we talked about the ICM figures, and they were really nice figures, but I wasn't very keen on the instructions because they were a little bit oversimplified, I think. And it didn't show you the separate parts of how to actually assemble them. Well, here you get typical clarity from Tamiya. So we're starting off with our Mauser carbine rifle, KR 98K. Then we've got the canteen water bottle, gas mask case, mess tin, cooking up your lunch, and then we've got the potato masher hand grenade case. I should say stick grenade, shouldn't I really, I suppose, to be completely correct. And it's a shovel, although the Brits and the Americans I think normally call it a trenching tool. But here you can see what I mean. So here we get into the figures now, and you can see that here we've got Infantryman 1 who's kneeling, but it shows you the separate parts, so it leaves you no doubt about how it should go together. And then you've got select either, you've got different types of hat, a cap or a helmet. And then it shows you what he should look like when he's finished. And of course it's got the paint guides on there nice and clear for you. And then we go into the second one, the non-commissioned officer who's got his binoculars out. He's got an MP40 in his hand. And it even has the MP40 folding stock included. That's awesome. Aren't they nice? And again, you've got the choice of helmet or hat. Cap, I should say. Hat. Not using the right jargon. And yeah, and then you've got all these various other items of equipment. Oh, the next page, and we've got another 98k carbine Mauser. We've got ammunition cases, we've got the trenching tool, we've got the bipod here, that's what's in his hand here. That's the bipod for the MG34 machine gun. And then you've got a little bit of a... Just checking whether this is actually included in the kit, what's being shown there. Well, there's a stand here, which is very interesting. I'm just looking whether this bit of yeah, there's a bit of wall. This bit of like wall that's collapsed. It's actually there. We'll come to that plastic in a minute anyway. So this is excellent. So everything you're seeing here is included in the kit, for sure. And you've got the chap that's holding the ammunition case. You've got one with his rifle in his hand. The other one's got this MG34 over the shoulder. And then it's got the rear view of what they all look like. It's clear as crystal, isn't it? It's really, really good. And then the markings and the insignias all shown there. That's nice. That is really good instructions, I've got to say. And you even get a stand for one of them, which is really nice, actually. So, with that in mind, let's have a look at the plastic. I think we'll start with the... am I going to have to cut them all off? See if I can just get these staples out, because typical Tamiya, isn't it? I mean, there's staples, honestly. Terrible with this. I wish they'd just drop it. It's like... It's the one thing about that company, and they're so good in so many areas, and yet they've got this... They've got nice boxes as well, you know, not like Revell, but they've got this 1970s idea of having a staple and everything, which I really hate. It doesn't actually matter quite so much with figures, I must admit. It's when you get clear parts and staples do not mix, do they? They really, really don't. Right, let's have a zoom in. Oh. Now this is a 2019 tooling, but it looks bang up to date. Look at this. Look at the grenades. That's incredible. Wow. And they fit into that case, inside the case like that. See it there? That is just sublime. Those grenades are so nicely formed. And then you've got your ammunition boxes. You've got a base. And here we've got, this is where the zoom might not be enough. Here we've got the faces. I've got one here that's got his cap on. If I can get to him, just find him. There we go. And again, you can tell the quality of the moulding because the Canon camera is instantly recognising that as a face. And it's tracking it like it does with a human face. Incredible. So then we've got a couple of arms, and then we've got these little the torsos here. And this is a little bit of chap that's kneeling, I think it is. Look at the fineness of the detail on these. It's really well done. The creasing is just right in the clothes. The trousers and the boots here. And then look at the creasing here. This is absolutely breathtakingly good. I mean, that's as good as any figures as I've seen, really, especially at this scale. That's very, very nice, isn't it? Another face here. Again, the camera's tracking that as a face. It knows it's a person. Thinks it is. And then we've got one that's standing. See that it's got plenty of detail there with the belts, and it's got all these straps and everything, and you've got the option of all these different bits of equipment that you can stick on him. It's got to be said let's just go in again on this one. Just looking at these grenades, I just can't quite get my head around how good they are, really. Absolutely stunning. And then this guy's face, look at that. So real, aren't they? Absolutely brilliant. So, bring you back from this. So that's the first sprue, and it sort of takes your breath away. Just trying to figure out why his foot is at such a strange angle there. I think that they're wanting you to pose that, or giving the option to pose it in different positions on the foot. Well, I have to say I'm mighty impressed so far. Mighty impressed. So that's the first one. Please bear with me again while I try and... It's actually... Once you get the knack of these staples, it is actually quite quick to remove them. It's just... first time you encounter them, they can seem a little bit stressful. But, he says, obviously I haven't got the knack. Clearly not. Not as good at it as I thought I was. Right. Now then, so this is nice. This is this little bit of sort of broken down wall that one of the soldiers is standing on, which is excellent. And not something that Tamiya really done before, I don't think. Not in this way. And there's a bit of timber there as well. Look at the detail there, isn't that nice? Yeah. And then you've got a lot of arms and legs. And over here we've got equipment. He says, camera focus. Equipment, here we go. Ammunition pouches. You've got like a rations bag. And then we've got one of the faces again. There we go. Flip that upside down and then we can have a look at the clothes. All these straps and belts that they're wearing to carry things. Over here we've got another one of the faces. Come on, camera. Camera's struggling a bit today. Aren't they nice? Really, really good. And then we've got some more interesting creased trousers on the legs. Very, very detailed. Look at that. Isn't that nice? It's beautifully formed, and you've got all the hands at the bottom here. Absolutely knockout, that is. Fantastic. Wow. I think that figures are much more... They're easy to love if they're done really well. I think if they're covered in flash and they're a complete nightmare, like I remember those early Airfix and Matchbox actually, they weren't the Matchbox ones. They did these figures, but they were all in one piece, pre-moulded, slightly rubbery, a bit like the Airfix of the mid-70s. Not great, to be honest. It wasn't Matchbox's best product, but I quite liked them. They seem to get better over time, I think. Now let us see. Finally. This is the sexy sprue with all the weapons on it. So here we go. We have got Luger pouches, Luger holster, helmets. You can see them underneath helmets. Those are really nicely done. Hollow helmets. You've got all the gas canisters, gas mask carriers, canisters. And then you've got all the various pouches, the canteens. Sorry, that's the water canteen there. Yeah. And then you've got your trenching tools. It's actually like a dagger, one of those. Yeah, one's like a dagger, one's like a trenching tool. Then, look very carefully, amazingly, but this here on the left is the stock for the MP40. Look, it has the stock in it's two-sided, and it's very, very finely moulded. If I can just get it to focus. Look at that. It's pretty tiny, you know. It's very fine detail. Look at that. Turn it the way around. Isn't it nice? Looks bob on, that does. And then over here we've got the MG34 with the bipod opened or closed. So you can have it over his shoulder either way. And again, incredibly detailed. And then last but not least, we've got our Mauser 98K KAR rifles. Beautiful, aren't they? It's really nice. Absolutely awesome. So I'm very impressed with those. It's the sharpness, you know, it's the detail is there. The faces seem to have even got some expression on their faces, which is really something you don't often get. There's a depth to them, you know. So that was the German infantry mid-World War II. I think it makes sense to just jump straight to the late World War II version, just see if there's any differences that are discernible. They'll be quite similar to these guys over here, so we'll do that and then we'll look at the Americans last. So this time it's kit number 35382, and as I say, this is more your Normandy onwards campaign. You know, you've got the different style of camo, and you've got the slightly different weaponry in the shape of the SDG-44 has become a factor. As the name suggests, they didn't really come in until 44. And then we've got again trenching tools. We've got map case, binoculars, and binoculars case, gas mask case, and then we've got the weapons, including the mine, a Telemine 42, a Panzerfaust 60, the MP40 submachine gun, and your 98. Oh no, sorry, it's not a 98. It's actually a G43 semi-automatic rifle. Again, technological development, semi-auto, faster firing rifle than the Mauser. And then we've got the MP44 or STG44 as it was often known, assault rifle, and the stick grenades. So, why don't we have a look at this then? I think it's going to be rather interesting. I always think the Germans are very interesting in this era. You know, the weaponry that they carried was always very, very impressive and good equipment all round. Again, we've got some decals, which we'll have a quick look at. Similar sort of setup, I guess. That's kind of welded back this time, rather than stapled. How odd. Different. It's still welded. Didn't do a very good job. That, I'm afraid, doesn't want to know. It says no, I'm not opening. Doesn't want to come out to play. There we go. We're in the end. So, oh yeah, very impressive. Much quite different selection of insignias. And this is the one thing that was always missing on these, so it's great that they've got them now. So there you go, all your rank insignias, Wehrmacht insignia, national emblem, blah blah. And there's even some warnings for things like the grenade box, etc. Okay, so let us have a look. Let's go. Now then, here we go. Instructions. There's not a lot of chat on it in terms of history. I suppose it's pretty much self-explanatory. That's the reason, really. So, going into the weapons, look at these. This is really impressive. So this has got your G43 semi-automatic rifle and your MP or STG-44 and the MP40, the good old MP40, which went right the way through the war, of course. Panzerfaust anti-tank weapon here, and then your grenades, stick grenade, or potato masher as the Brits used to call them. Gas mask case, binoculars, shovel, canteen and mess tin. And here again we've got the choice of headwear, cap or helmet. And again you've got all your clearly marked colours. All your parts are made clear. Although I do notice they've actually gone to the ICM way of showing them just as a finished soldier already, which I'm not sure I really like, especially if you're new to these. Not a deal breaker by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just perhaps oversimplifying it perhaps. So you've got one that's on bended knee, signalling to his colleagues. Another one on bended knee with his STG-44 across his stomach. Then over you've got the back view showing the gas mask case and the other bits of paraphernalia. And then it looks like we've got another interesting stand. This time it does it differently. Look, it shows it being attached, which is kind of slightly inconsistent. But anyway, you've got a telemine, and you've got stick grenades, and you've actually got the option. If you look closely there, you've got the option of multiple stick grenades there. You can have a 2, or you can have a 3, or you can just make them all together and make it into a 7. It's quite a weapon, isn't it? 7 of those going off. Wow. And then you've got again the back view here, and of course he goes on a base if you wish it. Now over here again, just going back to my earlier point, again they're now reverting to showing you the parts being assembled, which is kind of odd actually. This guy obviously has got the much later camo on, the sort of Ardennes type camo, not the winter clothes though, but the Ardennes sort of late Normandy I call it, Normandy onwards. And then over here, he's got a base for you to stand on, put him on. He's got the rifle, automatic rifle. Here we've got the guy with the Panzerfaust, again shows you how to assemble him, which you didn't earlier. And then you've got all the paint guide, colour call-outs shown. And then last but not least, all the markings and insignias and where they should go, which is really good. Really like that. Okay, so quite impressed so far. I think we know, we kind of know what we're going to get here. It's going to be pretty impressive, I think. Pretty impressive. Apart from the staples. Video is going to be about 20% me pulling staples out, isn't it, really? But for those of you watching that don't do figures and would like to, I would say just buy a packet of these. They're retailing for around £20. Is it £23? I must admit, I forgot to check. But they are very good value. You get a lot of model for your limited money, to be honest, and lots of hours of fun of actually painting them up. And as I say, if you're nervous about the faces, don't let that hold you back. Just do something very basic, let your enthusiasm and your creativity, let it flow a little bit on the rest of it, like the uniforms. Don't let it intimidate you too much. So here we have it. We've got the MP40 machine gun again. Again with its little stock like we saw before. In fact, it's a very similar sprue is this, except the second part of it, which is different. So here we've got the Panzerfausts, stick grenades, STG-44s, which look very, very good, don't they? And your G43 automatic, semi-automatic rifle. I mean, those are pretty cool, aren't they, to be honest? They really are. I like those, yeah. So that's a great start. And of course you've got your helmets, etc. as per the previous set. So that's that one. And then we've got the men. Now then. Oh, seem to have bigger staples this time. That probably helps us to get them out. See them out so you can see what's going on. It's the staple game, isn't it? Right, now then, here's the telemine. Look at that. That's impressive, isn't it? Cool. Then you've got some really nice sort of uniforms with the tunic. Here's your stick grenade, the the 7 multi grenade. I'm sure it has a proper name, but did it actually say in the instructions? Let's check that. I might be shortchanging you here, but I'm not paying enough attention. Multi grenade. Where was it? No, it doesn't say. It actually doesn't give it a name as such. It's a bit of a shame, but anyway. But yes, there's lots of grenades anyway. 7 of them. Then you've got some lovely. Again, you've got the legs here, and you've got the guy's face. And again, the camera knows it's tracking his face like a real person. And then you've got these beautiful sort of figures of the crisp detail with all these straps and belts on them, shoes, boots. Fantastic, isn't it? Orientate it the right way. It's quite a challenge. So they're in 2 pieces, these, rather than being in a solid single piece. Got your little ammo pouch over here. And then over here we have got, where are we? There we go. Again, now this is interesting because you've got the late war helmet that's got the sort of the canvas sort of cover on it. That's obviously got the late war type of camo on it. So there's the chap's face. Again, the camera's got that, tracking it again. You've got what looks like a guy's hand. Part of the guy's hand there. There we are. Another couple of legs, some great, really effectively creased, aren't they? I mean, when you assemble these, I think they're going to look absolutely knockout, to be honest. And then at the other end, we've got a couple of nothing at the moment. We've got a couple of more hands, more ammo pouches, more faces. Just so exquisitely detailed, aren't they? Really, really nice. I mean, they're kind of hard to show in a way, these. I think they really do come to life, these models. The figures, military figures. From experience, they really come to life when you start painting them. They just pop, you know. And this, when you're looking at them on the sprue, they maybe don't look all that impressive, but trust me, when you start painting them up, they start to look amazing. And as I've said before, jokingly, you know, they develop characters of their own, really. I mean, I've said this before, I've got Mr. Spock. They look like the characters of Mr. Spock, Leonard Nimoy, James Bond, Daniel Craig, one of them, and who's the other one? Clint Eastwood, and they kind of got a look at these people. It's kind of weird. Anyway, without further ado, let's have a look at this last sprue, and that'll be the end of the Germans. Now, whoops, it's not coming. So I want to let go of this one. Just come on. It's not want to let go of this. Very, very awkward one there. Did not want to come out, did he? And then the other side, another one that doesn't want to come out. Perhaps I should have pre-prepped them like I've done in the past. But these have just arrived today. So, right, some fantastic detail in this last sprue. This is the one that's got all the parts where there's a bit more detailed, perhaps a more detailed figure. And these are bang up to date, 2023 moulding these. So be aware that this is the very, very latest that Tamiya can offer you. And you see some extra fine details in some of these hands and the fingers. Ammunition pouches, obviously. Get 3 stands to mount it on. And then we've got some really impressive on the torso, the bodies. You've got all this incredible detail of the clothing. Really, really finely moulded. And then I've got a selection of legs here. And they're doing them separately, so you can actually pose them, slightly to your own choice, which I think is a good thing. You don't always want to just have a straight figure that's the same as everybody else's. There's the faces. And then over on this end we've got, oops, again some really amazing detail. Every strap is sort of 3D and really popping out. And there's another one that's got a separate leg so you can pose them slightly differently. And then you've got the bottom of the coats here. Just gives you a little bit of posability. They're very beautiful though, aren't they? The moulding quality, the standard of the moulding is just absolutely fantastic. And as I say, I don't know how it's coming out on the camera really, but I'm not sure that when you see them on the sprue in this way, when you see these Tamiya figures, they never quite, doesn't do it justice. They are amazing, take it from me. They are amazing. And as soon as you get the glue out and you get them painted up, they're going to really pop. Anyway, that's the Germans, so that's the late war set, the second one. And finally, we're going to go to the good old US of A, and we've got our fantastic, oops, let me get rid of all these staples that are everywhere, military miniatures. This is the 2023, and this is the US infantry scout set. So you've got the guy here with his binoculars. Here is a sergeant, sergeant lieutenant, is it? And then you've got, does it show? Master Sergeant, okay. Master Sergeant, and then you've got the guy with the radio, and you've got one just taking a knee, and then you've got the guy keeping watch out over here with his Garand rifle, is it? Yeah, Garand rifle, and then you've got, lastly you've got the guy with the BAR, which is the Browning automatic rifle, very powerful machine indeed. So, let's have a look at them on the side. Here we go, so we've got a radio telephone, grenade, pineapple grenade, different types of helmet, with or without the netting, binoculars, trenching tool, and then over on the other side we've got the American bayonet. Well, I've got a bayonet and an M3 knife as well, and a Thompson submachine gun 45 cal, M1 Garand rifle as I mentioned. And then we've also got the M1 carbine, the semi-automatic, and then you've got your Browning BAR, very high caliber, fairly rapid firing, does a lot of damage. And then there's a Colt, I think it's a Colt, 1916 Colt holster. Right, so without further ado, let's have a look at these and see what we have got with the Americanos. Now then. Nice sprues. Oh yeah, we've got decals again. This is brilliant. I'm liking the decals. I just like the idea that you don't have to guess anymore or make your own, you know, trying to do all that research. We don't need that. We don't need that, manufacturers. We're paying you to do that. If you think about the time that is wasted by 1,000 modelers doing the same research, when one guy at the factory could do it, yeah? Oh, these are good. These are good. Look at that. Oh, these are beautiful. That's awesome. Check it out. So this is all your insignia for your ranks, badges. Aren't they nice? Fantastic. And of course there's a guide to them inside, telling you what all the different ranks are. But beautifully done. Really, really cool. Then we have got, I think we'll do that last, that one. We'll go for the big one first this time. Then we've got yet more staples. More staples. It's like staple day today. Oh. Right, there we are. That's the first one coming out. It says those last words. I don't make it all that easy to remove them either, to be honest. I do wish Tamiya would go to resealable bags. It's my one criticism of Tamiya. This drives me crazy. So, here we go. Ah, yes, these are going to be great. So this is your American infantry. We've got 3 stands for them to use here. But again, I like them being on the stand because if you look in the background, my guys here, I'll show you, my Germans in this case, I have to go with a bit of blue tack underneath. It's the only way to make them stand up because you only need the... They do stand fairly level, but it only takes the tiniest earth tremor, or you know, if you've got the cat or the dog walking past, or any human walking past, and they just vibrate and they'll fall over. So you've got to have a way of fixing them. So it's really quite handy to be able to have them without the blue tack, to be honest. So that's one thing that they seem to have cured. Okay, so let's have a look at these GIs. Let's have a look at what they got. Very, very nice. Very, very nice indeed. And this is the very latest from Tamiya this year. So we've got some really fine, latest technology, tooling. Look at the fingers on the hand, that's nice, isn't it? You've got all the creases in the jacket, typical GI uniforms. You've got your ammo pouches here, quite small ammo pouches, the American ones, aren't they? Relatively speaking. You've got like over here you've got a map case here, and then you've got the feet, legs and feet here. The boots, again the creasing in the trousers, absolutely brilliant. And then over here we've got, and I'm sorry, I'll skip past the guy's face. There's the guy's face. They really have quite expressive characters on the faces, with some expression, which is something I like about the Tamiyas. As I say, once you get the paint on these, they'll really pop nicely. You've got a selection of pouches there, ammo pouches. Don't remember if I've been round them all. I think I have. This is the last one. Well, last face. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, they're really good the way they sort of get these faces in, and they've got some, they've got a little bit of expression to them, a little bit of character to them. Impressive. Very nice sprue. Beautiful. There's no flash or anything, is there? It's really, really nicely done. Next one. Just have a little, sorry about this, just having a little bit of fun with the staples again. Oh boy. When are they going to stop it, eh? When? Just tear it. Can't be bothered. Right, there we go. Now then. Look at that. Again, lots of these little ammo pouches. Got the guy's face here. And then we've got the radio walkie-talkie. Another face. Torso. Then you've got the guys kneeling down here. Great effect of the creasing in the trousers around the knee where he's kneeling. Nice hands over here, look. Look at that detail, that's really nice. And here. Fantastic. Again, around this side we've got another guy that's kneeling. Just spin that one around so you can see it a bit better. And his boots. How they got the creases in the boot as they're kneeling and all that stuff. Very well done here, isn't it? The creasing of the tip of the boot creased up. Brilliant. Absolutely great, that is. It's just so beautiful. That is a beautiful, beautiful sprue. Like it, like it, like it. And then last but not least, seem to be not zooming out enough. Last but not least, we've got the weapons set for the GIs. The scouts, I should say. I wonder if they're supposed to be the rangers, these guys. I mean, the poses that they offer are absolutely amazing, aren't they, really? Our final trial by staple of the day. I don't know. Just feels very old-fashioned using staples. Something from the 70s. Right. No, these are beautiful. Oh, you're going to like this. Okay, look at, here we go. So here we go, we've got our Browning automatic rifle and then a load of helmets. Look at that. It's got the bipod for it as well here, look. Isn't that nice? There's your daggers. There's actually our daggers as well. Are they bayonets? I think they're the bayonets, aren't they? And on the other side you see the hollow nature of the helmets. And then over here we've got the Garand rifle. It's only Garand. No, it's not. I keep saying that. I always mix them up. It's the M1, isn't it? Whoops. M1 carbine is what I mean to say, because it's got the clip in it. And again we've got another bipod there, trenching tool. And then over here we've got binoculars. And we've got the water canteens. Beg your pardon. No, grenades, I mean. Hand grenades, look at them. And they're really, I'm not sure we can actually get this zoomed in as much as we would like, because they've got this beautiful pineapple figuring in them, which, trust me, is there and is really nicely done. I think the camera's got it now. Then we've got the water canteen, Thompson submachine gun. Look at that. Almost like the sort of thing that Al Capone would use, isn't it? From the 20s. And then you've got these beautiful helmets, which are the ones that have got the netting on them. Netted helmets. See? Those are nice, aren't they? Those are stunning. And then, I think we're almost done. Dum, dum, dum. Oh yeah, then we've just got our Garand rifle in the middle. Two of those. Very, very nicely done. And a bayonet. So which is the bayonet, which is the knife. Yeah, that's the knife, sorry, I've got it now. He says. I've got the focus, that's what I haven't got. That's the knife, this one. These are the bayonets. So there you have it. There you have it. Absolutely gorgeous weapon set, you know. That Thompson is something to behold, isn't it? Really, really nice. So there you go. That's the very latest 2023. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of jerkiness. Zoom's been misbehaving tonight for some reason. That's the very latest 2023 tooling from Tamiya. Absolutely exquisite figures, those. I needed some Americans anyway, so yeah, I'm quite glad I've got those guys. And you can never have too many of the sort of Wehrmacht era, the nice German soldiers with their very interesting weapons that they always have. Quite a nice set. I mean, you can buy any of these, as I say, they're retailing for about £23, I think they are, 23 to £25 mark. Oops, I don't knock them over. You got your Germans there, and you got your US Scouts there. There we are. I've got my little Finnish guys. Some I prepared earlier here, and you know you can make a nice job of them if you just persevere at it. And if you're not sure, don't worry. I mean, the eyes on this guy, they're not absolutely incredible, to be honest. It's not my finest work, but again, now you're seeing it in a way that you would never see it in real life. It's very close up and you don't see it like that, and you know, in a cabinet they look absolutely great, these guys do. They really do. So don't worry too much about the difficulty level and all that sort of stuff. Just take it one step at a time. I think you'll enjoy building any of these. Absolutely great. And of course Tamiya have got a long history of their figures. They've been very good for many, many years, in fairness. So don't be restricted to the very latest tooling. I would certainly urge you to consider some of their older stuff as well. So I have to be honest, I'm going to give Tamiya a 10 out of 10, which is a rare score, but how could they improve on them really? There's nothing, is there really, that you could ask. That's the only thing they could improve on is if they jolly well built and painted them perfectly for you as well. Unfortunately not going to get that. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that and found it interesting. Hope you'll give me 10 out of 10 with a thumbs up and a like. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And I hope you found something a bit different today, some figures. I know that some people will be scared to death by these, but I think we should all, I mean, I'm a little bit nervous on them too. It's just the faces, but just, as I say, a bit of pinkiness around the ears and the lips and the nose. And then get those eyes just done in a basic way and you'll be fine. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Hope that we'll have some more interesting things to talk about very soon. We've got Telford coming up, talk about that, and one or two other interesting kits coming through in the pipeline as well. And hope you'll join me for those. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching. Please take care of yourselves. Thanks ever so much. Until next time, thanks a lot, and bye for now.